Hello my lovely Leo friends. I'm Elizabeth Ashley, the Secret Healer. Welcome to my channel, list of essential oils and their uses. Today I'm going to do a reading for July 2020 using Tongue of the Trees essential oil oracle cards. I am a professional aromatherapist with over 25 years experience. I'm also a medical astrologer, and I designed these cards to help bypass the conscious mind and speak to the unconscious. And as we know, as the planets move, they do trigger all manner of different things. And of course, each one of us has a history that makes us react differently. So essential oils are absolutely fantastic for helping us to navigate those challenges. So I thought I would show you a little reading using the Ring of the Trees layout. So the Tongue of the Trees cards. The Ring of the Trees was originally created to help go back to the original trauma that might be able to create pain in the physical body. Often we see emotional pain causing physical disturbance. So this Ring of the Trees spread was designed to find our way back to the beginning of the pain. However, over the months since I've made it, I've discovered I can use it for looking forward too. So here we go then. Where should we stop for Leo? So what we're going to do is draw 13 cards, and I will show you those as we go, and then I'll tell you a little bit about the cards and then turn around the camera and do the reading for you. Whoops, this one wants to come out. Tea tree. That's been everybody's last card. Your first card. That's interesting. Number 2, rose geranium. My best friend in all of the world. So good for making the troubles of the world go away. Sandalwood. And if I show you, this is an unusual card because it was the first pack off the printing press when it was designed by myself and Hungarian aromatherapist Gergely Halodi. And as you can see, we have sandalwood. So one of the newer ones have sandalwood, but I'm very, very fond of this errant card. And then we have lemon for number 4. Number 5, bergamot, anticipation. Wow, these are nice oils for you. Sweet fennel comes out usually when you're starting to struggle at the end of a project. Sweet basil. This was the first card came out for Cancerians. Happy birthday, by the way, Leo. And laurel. This is our 9th card, spikenard. Interesting when spikenard comes out. Of course, Saturn is retrograding into Capricorn, and spikenard's ruled by Saturn. We have lime, unravel. Fortitude of time, beautiful underused oil, loved in French aromatherapy, not used that much over here now. So this is a really nice oil to see coming out. And grapefruit for confidence. The sunshine oil for the sunshine people. Where are we numbers wise? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Your final card. Palmarosa adjustment. Interesting stuff going down for Leo. Nice. Lots of leaves. The leaves tend to be very helpful for if you've got like coughs and colds. And of course, at a time where there is COVID everywhere. It's everywhere. We are obviously using things like tea tree, lemon, those kind of oils, eucalyptus, to help with respiratory issues. And we use that from a physical point of view. But every time you use an oil, there is other stuff going on. No oil has side effects. It has many main effects. So not only is it working on the physical level, but also the emotional, mental and spiritual levels. And that's what we're going to look at now. When the planets are moving and they're triggering bits and helping us learn this interesting journey we go through life. If we use the right essential oils for the right planetary stuff, how's that going to help us? So I'm going to turn the camera around and let you have a look at your spread. Hi Leo. Apologies for the state of my nails, incidentally. The dog attacked me while I was putting my nail varnish on. So they're bare again. So I couldn't really see much when these cards were being pulled out, any kind of trends. But when I look at them now, I can see really very clearly what's going on. So let me just show you that the layout first of all. So this is card number 1 that we pulled. So this is where we are at the moment. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And remember, it's like a ring of a tree. 10, 11, 12, 13. And we could carry on growing it if we wanted to. And so let's just think about the transits that are happening in your chart at the moment. So obviously, happy birthday, first of all. This is your solar return. The sun will go into your sign around about the 23rd. And it's a time to set New Year's resolutions, really, isn't it? It's not the calendar New Year, but this is your strongest period at the moment. When you're watching this, you'll be in your 12th house. And as I make this, I'm in my 12th house. So it's interesting to think about 12th house is the stuff that has no form or matter. So it could be thoughts, dreams, insights, psychic abilities, and just when you're in that period, you sense things much more strongly. And for me, for example, today I laid out the flowers down here yesterday, and I've come in and I thought, oh, they're all going to be dead, and they are starting to fade away. The roses are looking a bit dim, but the fragrance is far, far stronger. And I found that the plants speak to me much more loudly with the dried leaves. Now, perhaps outside of a 12th house transit, I probably wouldn't have noticed that. So I can feel things much, much more strongly. And I think that it's a time where it's the best time to learn things like astrology, but also like numerology, but things like aromatherapy, where it's remember, if you don't know about aromatherapy, it's two things really. It's a science and an art. And the art side, the disappearing into the fragrance and feeling how it changes you and emerges, is entirely 12th house. And you know, if you're like me and you work on several levels with essential oils, you'll realise through the year that you work differently at different times. So 12th house is always the dreamy stuff, and I've been working on fragrance celebrations in the garden, and this here feels like that kind of stuff. So we're here, this is the insight, and I think in the 12th house really we should be being very, very quiet, just really asking for insights when we go to sleep, when we meditate, when we you know, journaling, that kind of thing, because this is the time when we want to get really hold of what's going on in our life, to think about when the solar return comes, how do we power forward? This is our time of going inwards and rest and restore. You know, this is our night time really. And so here, this is the insights, and I find it fascinating. You haven't got huge amounts of respiratory medicine come up in yours. A lot of the signs have. What you have is loads and loads of fruit. So we would use the lime, lemon, particularly bergamot, grapefruit, for lifting the spirits, helping people feeling stronger. Sweet basil is about empowerment. Sweet fennel is about helping you to that final push to get across the line. Rose geranium is about balancing the emotions. Spikenard and sandalwood about stilling you. So I feel like you're probably coming into this month feeling quite unsettled at the moment. And tea tree normally we would use for antibacterial, antimicrobial, for coughs, colds, infections of any description. But it's one of those oils that I think is fascinating, because people just go, oh, I need my bottle of tea tree, and they whack it on for any kind of infection. And I do that too, because it's the right oil to do it. But what's getting overlooked there is the psychological shift that takes place, the spiritual shift that takes place, because essential oils don't have any side effects. They have many, many main effects. So when you use tea tree, what you start to notice is your breaking processes down in your mind and looking at them. So at the moment, the best example of that is when you're coming in and you're making sure you've washed your hands and you put something out the way so it can't contaminate anywhere, and you wipe down the handles and the light switches. The best oil to be used doing it would be, from a physical point of view, the tea tree, but also from an emotional point of view, then it makes you think, did I do that? Have I done that? What did I do that for? So right here, if you're feeling, I don't know, I don't think it's melancholy. I think maybe drained. If you're feeling drained and you're thinking, or perhaps a little, I don't think that you're scared, but perhaps a bit apprehensive and just maybe miserable about what's going to happen over the next few months. Maybe you think, well, what's it going to look like? These oils here are all tremendous for uplifting the spirits. But here, this is saying, we're about your part in this. What are you doing that we could make differently? So 11th house as well, 12th house stuff is about looking and saying, right, I'm going to contemplate my life and see which bits I'm pleased with and which bits I'm not. The fact that you've got rose geranium afterwards makes me think that you're worried about stuff. It's ruled by Venus, and Venus is retrograde this month. So I might be wrong about that, but it feels might have come a months mixed up. Rose geranium imbues Venus, so love, everything luxurious, everything that Leos like, money, beauty, chocolate, champagne, all of that stuff. So I think that even though this feels like boring stuff, I think you're really going to get into it and really feel the love for doing it. I'm really I'm getting off on starting to understand myself and seeing my triggers here. And here, sandalwood is a very interesting oil to come out here. I think I pointed out the missing D on my cards. You wouldn't have those if you bought your cards. But sandalwood is ruled by the Aquarius Pisces cusp. And Aquarius is the other. It's always about the other and the others as a collective. And Pisces is feeling like you're swimming in the emotions. So to me, that there says this is your meditation card, certainly. That maybe you're picking up on everybody else's emotions and you're feeling everybody else's anxieties, and it's rubbing off on you at the moment because you're in the 12th house and because everything feels there's no barriers, you know, it's flowing. You're in a whole different dimension, really, feeling things so acutely. This is a tremendous oil to say, right, okay, just separate yourself off from that. Find out what is you, what is everybody else. And it's interesting, actually, when you do I found that when I do this layout, this card number 3, card 3 and 7 are definitely the power cards. But 3 always seems to be what's happening with your mind of everybody else. And there, that says you're picking up everybody else's sensitivities. Perhaps you're listening to the news too much and there's so much information coming at you. And because you're in this 12th house time, it's too much. You know, you're swimming in a sea of everybody else's rubbish. So sandalwood will take you into a place that is entirely you. Very meditative space. And it's so quiet. And you walk gently on the ground when you've got sandalwood helping you. You know, this is gentle, silent steps. Nobody else perceives you. You're almost invisible because you're just doing your own stuff away from everybody else. And Lemon says, man, I love it. I absolutely love it. It makes me feel so much happier. I feel separated from everybody else. I feel balanced. Lemon's got this amazing relationship with the serotonin receptors. So serotonin does many different things, about 30 different things in the body. Including and especially being the mood modulator. So when you have balanced serotonin, you feel balanced. No anxiety, no depression. But also 90% of the serotonin is manufactured and exists within the gut. So lemon is a tremendously digestive tonic. but also it settles those feelings of nervousness, and here definitely this feeling of picking up on other people's stuff. If you're a very empathic person, then potentially that's what's happening. You might feel, yeah, I think maybe this whole thing says I'm feeling quite low, but I can't really explain what it is, and it's everybody else's rubbish. And once you step away from that, Lemon says, God, I feel stronger now. I definitely feel more fortified. And again, this would be an oil that we would use as an antiseptic, an antibacterial to guard us against infections. But I think from your point of view right now, maybe you feel a little ill, but I don't think it, I think you're being, I see you acting almost like a radio receptor, you know, picking up everybody else's stuff. And that's the off switch. And Lemon just goes, whoa, that's blissful, just to be on my own. And then Bergamot is anticipation. Just, I remember the poem that goes with it that says, when did your fizz leave you? Maybe you felt like, I just haven't got my sparkle, but look at all the sun that's coming out here. You know, you are Leo, you need the sun. So we've got the fruit, we've got fruit, solar plexus, medicine, all this lovely sunshine everywhere. And here's the sun coming out, you know. So as soon as we go past, as soon as the solar return comes and the sun goes into your sign on the 22nd, 23rd, because you've done this introspection, you learnt an enormous amount about yourself in those two cards. I didn't know that happened to me. I've been feeling this stuff and I didn't realise that I was being a beacon before. Wow, I found an off switch. This feels tremendous. What else can I use that for? What else can I do? Now, what's interesting is normally when we see citruses, we see lots of oranges, which are manifestation. But I don't really see manifestation here. What I see is completion of projects. Maybe you have been, you know, Mercury is retrograde at the beginning of the month. And so for that period, really, we shouldn't really be trying to do anything new. Mercury doesn't like new from when it's retrograde. It likes us to go back and finish things. And Sweet Fennel says, well, if you're running a marathon and it's 26 miles, 25 and a half, you need me to get you through that final part. And these are, you've got Roman red medicines here, look. That one, that one, that one. All extremely strong soldier, gladiator kind of stuff. This one in particular is, I've fallen on the battlefield and I can't get up. And Sweet Fennel says you absolutely can. And I think that this here says, well, here's your strengthening, right? I feel so much better about that. What else could I do? I think I could go and finish that now. So whatever that was not completed here. And Sweet Basil says, right, I'm taking the reins now. I've written a book about Sweet Basil. She is one of my best friends, and she's like, I called her a gladiator, but she's really like a sergeant major in the Afghanistan conflict. She's covered in dust and she is just left to her own devices. She's incredibly wild. She does not like you to be thinking about stuff. She's like, stop thinking about it. It'll stop you in your tracks. Just do it. So she's about action all of the way. And you couldn't have a nicer card here. That's winning, entirely winning. It's ruled by Jupiter, expansion, authority. And the laurel leaves were what they used to put onto the emperor's head. You know, this is absolutely regal stuff. Sun stuff. The sun is the king. You are back here. So these, now I feel like when you're here and you're starting to realise, well, that's not my stuff. Right, so I do want to do something. I feel like goal setting. Right, what would I like to achieve? All of these citruses says to me, this is the harvest, you know. These are the things that I want to be able to bring to the future. And maybe there's a lot of stuff sitting unfinished. And I'm going to bring it to fruition. And Laurel says, absolutely, you can do that. Sweet Fennel should push. And it's interesting that that one comes there, because that's a funny position for that to come in. Usually you would get that here. So that kind of says fear normally. You get spikenard for fear, but more I think here it's trust. It's ruled by Saturn, and Saturn is long, slow medicine. And what's interesting is spikenard's got an interesting transit into your 6th house here. Yeah, I can see what that is now. So when is Saturn is considered to be a malefic planet, and actually nothing's all good or all bad in astrology. It just is. But some of the houses are harder than others, and the 6th house is quite a difficult house, and it rules debts, disease, enemies. So when Saturn goes into it, because Saturn moves so slowly, it means that these things don't have so much traction. So what I feel that we're seeing here is this goal setting, this understanding about myself and saying, right, okay, I've got my insights into what I'm doing. I'm starting to understand what I need to do to be able to move forward to make these things fruit. And sweet basil is absolutely empowerment and Mars medicine, just pushing you forward. Here's your winning. And here is Saturn in the 6th house, I think, that says, right, well, what happens then is your competitors can't keep up. Not at all. Your health starts to improve because you are thinking about what you're going to do and making conscious actions towards them, instead of hiding and having this worry, becoming really empowered and pushing and thinking, well, I can find that extra few minutes in my day to do X, Y, Z. And of course, when that happens, the debts start to recede as well. So everything bad is slowing down as the sun comes out for you. And of course, what this means here is confidence, confidence, confidence. And this is such a beautiful oil to get as your outcome, Palmarosa, because Palmarosa is like St. Michael's sword, you know, the Archangel Michael, and he cuts. He really cuts through the things that you've been clinging to, those habits, those old ways of playing things out that have been holding you back. And potentially this, you know, it relates to this. Right, well, I understand now how I've got to stop this happening. Palmarosa. So I'm going to put some recipes up for you on the slides. But just to tell you, from this reading, it's very clear to me that your power areas are, this is the one that you're going to work with the most. I think tea tree is a tremendous oil for everybody to be working with on the planet at the moment anyway. Just breathing it in for 4, holding for 4, out for 4, hold for 5 minutes a day. From the point of view that is a tremendous indicator. If you can smell that tea tree, you know that COVID is not in your house just yet. So I think that's a tremendous, there's an insight. There's an insight if ever there was one. You know, we know that the sense of smell is there. So I think that's tremendous medicine for everybody to be doing at the moment. If you are feeling upset and stressed and overwhelmed, get some rose geranium in your bath. But this one here, this sandalwood, for you, I think is just magnificent. You're going to feel so calm, so inspired by it. And for fear of sounding like a cheap salesperson, in this time when you have this 12 house stuff and you're starting to really feel connections with stuff, intuition, something like this, something like a pack of cards like this would be magnificent for you to go and really connect with the plants and hear them speak. There's probably never a better time. And given that you also have a new moon in your 12th house, that also sets the stage for this stuff's going to last all year. You know, you're going to, if you put the intentions that I want to be able to do that, I want to be able to learn that, I want to be able to hear that, see that, smell that, taste that, I want to get into that intuition, then there's your sandalwood. But also this for a tool is fantastic. And plant that intention in the 12th house and when the new moon comes, and you will find that you have so much help to set you apart from this, absorbing everybody else's stuff and becoming you, and it'll just feel beautiful. And then, like I say, using Palmarosa, if you think, right, okay, I do know that there is something or someone pulling my strings, and I've really tried, I've tried to pull it up by the roots, because we've all been there, you know, it grows back again. Palmarosa says, no, it doesn't. I'm going to bring the Archangel Michael into this. I'm bringing in the big boys. And maybe that relates here, that, right, well, I'm starting to understand the triggers and how that's been working me, really, and I'm going to cut it free. I missed out time, because I don't think that really it has that much bearing on this reading, but you can see that the overwhelming feeling of the plant is fortitude. Again, it's another respiratory medicine, but it's a strengthening medicine. And I think the whole process that we're untangling things, that we're starting to see, get the threads and go, well, that belongs there, that belongs there, starting to see where everything fits, just automatically makes you feel emotionally stronger, but physically stronger too. I think it's beautiful. I think that from the beginning you feel properly down and worn out, and using these oils and using this time really carefully and consciously will make you feel incredibly better. So I will show you some recipes I'm putting together for you. So I hope you found that useful. They're very weird, these cards. When I designed them, and Gergely asked me to write the translations to his to his Hungarian poems, I had to listen to the plants all over again, and to hear them speak to me was very strange and stressful, and I didn't like it, and I didn't think they'd be good. When I got them in my hands and started to work with them, I found them extraordinary. And I hope that you do too. Now, obviously, if you are not a regular follower of my channel because you're not an aromatherapist, like and subscribe now, and comment and share, please. Also, in the description, you will find how to buy the Tongue of the Trees cards, but also how to buy the knowledge base. And remember that they are separate. The cards are available from Fragrant Earth in Glastonbury, and soon will be available from Amazon. So just keep watching, because as soon as they are, you'll get a link in the link below, and that's Amazon UK just at the moment. The knowledge base is a digital platform, and so the second that you pay me £45, I can send it down to you, and there is over 40 different videos in there looking at all aspects of the oil. Also, make sure that you check out my books. If you're a beginner to essential oils, look at download my free book from Amazon, The Complete Guide to Clinical Aromatherapy and the Essential Oils of the Physical Body. Snappy title. I've regretted it ever since I did it. But also, if you are a beginner to essential oils and you're starting to really enjoy them, but you're not confident, perhaps also look for the recipe hub that goes with the Tongue of the Trees. Totally unrelated to any of the readings that we've done, but it's using the cards to make recipes. There's just around about 200 recipes in there. How to make treatments for body lotions, for shampoos, for anything you can think of, from bronchitis to, I can't think of something from beginning with Z, sunburn, right the way across. So yeah, have a look, go and have a look at my website. And incidentally, if you would like me to do you your own personal reading, if you have a look on my website, thesecrethealer.co.uk, there is a link for consultations. Book an hour-long personal consultation, and yeah, I'll do your own reading. For now, thank you for being generous and all the nice things that you've said, and I look forward to doing your August readings.
So you get your phone, you turn it this way up, and then there's a little red subscribe button. Turn it grey by clicking it, and then there's a little bell. Click that and press all at the bottom of your phone or tablet or computer. It will say you will receive all notifications, and then there's a little hand with a thumbs up. Click that, it'll turn it blue and it says added to your liked videos, and there will be comments, and if you want to you can send a comment and say like hi's to mum and dad, like, and then the link to the next video will be in the description below underneath the video. So bye.